Shane, why don't you lead it off?
Marco just talked to us, and I know you guys gave up 58 points in the second half, and they said that Carolina ran like some of the same sets. Is that stuff that do they recognize, or is that, I mean, did you see anything that jumped out?
Yeah, well, they ran a lot of 5-1, 5-2 ball screen type action that we never defended it very well, but we were much better in the first half. And in the second half, they exploited us on it seemed like every time we broke down, they made us pay for it. So yeah, a lot of stuff, but most of the stuff they got was off ball screen stuff.
Coach, looking at just the rebounds in that game, offensively, there weren't a lot of second chance shots. How much focus and emphasis is going to be on that moving forward, just getting offensive boards?
Well, first of all, our standing height isn't very impressive. They were a lot bigger than us, which is an excuse. I mean, they're 6'9" versus 6'4" at the three, and they're 6'10" versus 6'6" at the three, and 7 foot versus 6'9" at the four. At the four and at the five. So they were bigger. The thing about it is, when you're that, you've got to be pretty scrappy, and you have to play to your athleticism and fight a lot harder. I thought, we played very soft when it came to rebounding the basketball and going after balls. So there's a lot of things that can be corrected that we got to get better at. But to me, that's probably as big a one as there was, because when you talk about rebounding, usually the guy that, you technique, blocking out, doing this, doing that. And then there's an element of just go get the ball. And we didn't have that. We didn't play athletic at all with our bigs.
What's your message to the guy like Cole Rosario who started that game, knowing that there's such a big size mismatch there? What's your message to him pregame on how to kind of battle through that?
Well, it's not a pregame; it's a daily thing. It's if you let size and skill outperform athleticism, quickness, toughness, then you're going to have some results that aren't very good. So, in our situation, what do you tell a guy that's fighting a guy that's much bigger and stronger? You tell him, okay, well, just good luck, or do you say you better outquick him? You better be scrappy. I mean, that's pretty much common. What do you tell a defensive lineman going against a 350-pound offensive tackle, then the defensive lineman weighs 250? Well, you better be quicker than him, because if it comes into a powerlifting contest, you're going to get pancaked. That was the thing that I didn't think we did a good job of. We fought hard the first half in many ways, so I'm not doubting our effort at all from a fighting standpoint, but from a rebounding standpoint, I didn't think we ever rebounded the ball.
What have you learned to this point about Corpus Christi, and how would you describe them?
They could have beat SMU. I mean, they could have beat SMU. Yesterday, they got off to a terrible start against Tarleton, and then they actually played Tarleton, the second half of the game. But Tarleton played great early, and they had one guy go nuts for Tarleton. So I think they're athletic. I think they're good. I think they can stretch it from multiple spots. But they're a lot like us in that I don't think they played their best ball yet.
I know you said earlier that this team needs to be a good defensive team. How long do you think it takes for that defensive connectivity to kind of develop when you've got so many new players?
To have an identity, which I think that's kind of what you're saying. Weeks. And rebounding is part of that identity defensively. So those are good questions. But it's not something that you just, hey, we're going to work on defense today and we're going to be better tomorrow. And that's not something that there's you're building blocks daily. And then, you know, if you keep building enough blocks or whatever, by a certain period of time, you're going to be much improved, and there'll be a noticeable difference. I look at our playing our man before he catches it. I look at our communication on switches. I look at our hedges when we're not switching on ball screens. There's a lot of things that I thought was weak and soft, in large part because I think we got fatigued. I mean, we were tired. That was a game that when things turned in the second half and there's 10 minutes left and we're down 6, there's not that much gas left in the tank. In many ways, we lost all momentum, and then, you know, I had some guys play some major minutes. So I actually think, and Carolina plays at a pretty good pace, obviously. So I think that, you know, those things all go into it, but we just got to get our closeout. So our stances on closeouts. Are we allowing straight line drives? Are we sound the last 10 seconds of a shot clock and not bail them out? There's a lot of things that you can say, well, we'll just get better at this, but you have to actually practice it and stuff. So I still think we're weeks away from being where we hope to be, but that doesn't mean we can't be a lot better daily, because I don't know how you guys felt, but that start of the second half, they were great, but we didn't guard them.
With Omarco, when he's out there as kind of the primary ball handler, what are you hoping to see from him when he's in that role?
I don't know that he'll be in the role a lot as the primary handler. I see him being in the game most of the time when either Darren or Melvin's in the game with him. So they kind of would be more what I see. But I see him as a guy that needs to be an easy play kind of guy. Marco is. He goes through a checklist. He'll come off a ball screen and this is my first read, this is my second read, this is my third read, and then he'll decide who he's going to throw it to after he makes all the reads. He does it. It's not quite as instinctive as it will be, and I think a lot of that is took a year off. But I think he's going to get there. I love his athleticism, and he should be terrific defensively. And if he could just focus on, you know, being aggressive, driving downhill, get paint touches and pass it, and be the defender that he could potentially be, because he's so strong and so quick. I think you'll see him play very well, and with that very well means making more shots because he's worried about the things that are most important anyway.
This team's obviously still new to you and to each other in a lot of ways. When it turns like that, at the start of that second half, when Carolina starts to make their run, who do you look to out there to calm it down?
Disappointing. We haven't been in that situation
Right.
yet. You know, that's one thing about controlling the game against Louisville. We weren't in that situation. I thought it was disappointing because the way that we tried to come back wasn't a collective effort. It was more individual effort, not by shooting the ball, but by I got to make a play, or you know, somebody else is guarding him, so I don't have to be in strong help, or my positioning defensively doesn't mean as much. I didn't think it was a collective effort that, hey, this is who we are, this is what we got to do, and we're going to all do it together right now. I saw it more as now we tried, but I saw it more as, well, I need to go do this, or I need to go do that, and I really never accomplished much. And there's no 10-point plays. But I thought when we had to have great possessions, you know, guys, it's under 10, it's a 6-point game. But when we had to have great possessions, I thought that we failed on those possessions on both ends.
And then, given how early in the season that game was, you just mentioned you're weeks away maybe from being quite where you want to be. Was there something that went wrong where you thought, yeah, that probably should have gone wrong? We're not there yet in this area. Is there one of those areas that stands out, or too many?
Well, first of all, Carolina was really good.
Sure.
And they're really big, and they played very well. And they shot it lights out the second half. With all that being said, the thing I've told our guys, and I really believe this is true, until we become an execution team, which we're a ways away from doing, then gosh dang, we better be the tougher, more scrappy team all the time. You know, if we get 70% of 50-50 balls and there's 10, well, there's 4 more possessions to score that they don't have. So you make up the difference in those type situations. But we ran about 8 different sets, which we executed 0 right. So we're not an execution team yet. Is that surprising? No, not really. So we better be a try-hard, tough team. And we weren't that. That's the biggest thing that I think that, and if we correct that, to the point about the defense, if we correct that, you can make mistakes and they're camouflaged because you got guys flying around and playing to athletic ability and whatever. There's times in football, I bet you, that a cornerback can't guard a wide out and he can get torched and is wide open. But the outside edge rusher puts so much pressure on the quarterback that he doesn't quite see him. Now, does that mean your defensive backfield defense is fantastic? Or does it mean, no, the dude saved us right there? And we didn't have any of that saving stuff right there because we weren't the more athletic, the more aggressive team. I don't know if you guys kind of saw the same thing. That's kind of what I saw watching it. And that was a beautiful football analogy.
Well, obviously it's early, but I just want to get your thoughts on who do you think, is there a specific player that you want to be a second option, or do you think it's going to be an assortment of guys that will kind of step up depending on the game?
I think it'll probably be, right now, I think it'd be assortment guys.
Mhm.
Who I'd love for it to be is Flory.
Mhm.
You know, Flory's got to be able to throw the ball to him and get fouled and do some different things. And we actually started the game off by throwing it to him. And then we got away from it, and then he hesitated when he caught it some and that stuff. But I think it should be by committee.
Mhm.
But because guys, what I could envision, you know, you're going to have one guy that's going to score, be our leading scorer and score the majority of the points, and then you're going to have, you know, 4 or 5 or 6 other guys that are all capable of scoring between 8 and 15. You know, pretty good, but I see it being different guys.
Yeah, and kind of going with what you were talking before, is it more of a, he needs to be aggressive from the get-go like he was in the first game? Obviously different quality of opponent there, but is it just him making an effort to, okay, give me the ball, let me go to work? Or is it just him being more comfortable with, okay, let it come to me and they'll feed it to me?
Good point. We're not good post feeders yet, but we will get there. So he's open more than we thrown it to him. Okay, so we can be better at that. That's not on him. The thing that Flory is more than anything else is a game-changing, quick-twitch athlete. Well, that's what he is more than anything else. So if we're going to get totally mesmerized on him on his points, we're not looking at how he can actually help our team the most. He is a game-changing athlete, blocking, alternating, running, getting something cheap, keeping the ball alive, those type things as much as he is anything else. And so you know, everybody, and I get it, has an opinion, oh, he needs to do this and he needs to do that. You know what he needs to do? He needs to be who he is. And that is a quick twitch, game-changing athlete. And then when that happens, then the other things will come by naturally. But does he need to post stronger? Yes. Can we be better passers? Yes. But everybody this time of year is going to say the same thing about their team. So you know, what can we do that we can control more? And I think he can certainly do those other things.
Yeah, I guess the last question kind of going with that is Flory's second half defense, I think, was not quite as good as the first half. What did you see when you watched the tape again of his play?
I think that we all collectively looked tired defensively in the second half. I thought we tried really hard. And, you know, they scored 29. What, they scored 29 in the first half?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's with us not controlling the defensive glass.
Mhm.
Our first shot defense, folks, first half, pretty
Really,
darn
really
good.
good, yeah.
But, you know, the first play of the game, easy block out, we elect not to touch him, and he puts his elbows above the rim, and we're 2 hands under the rim. That's what happened. Easy block out. Just didn't do it. That's the kind of plays that we can correct, but that's all part of defense too. Finish on possessions.
What do you think of Tiller's shooting as a big man? And do you want more rebounds out of him?
Yeah. Well, I shot it great. You know, he was one of the biggest reasons why we had the lead at halftime. You know, he's 4 for 4. So yeah, he shot it great. But our bigs didn't play big. You know, regardless of the situation, you know, our bigs have to play bigger. But, you know, gosh, he shot it great. And when he went out of the game, you know, that was not what was best for us. It hurt us when he went out of the game with foul problems. But Flory, Trey, and Bryson can all play bigger. And I think they would all agree. I'm not talking negative at all. They would all agree. And we need to play bigger because, guys, that was 6'4" against 6'9" at the 3. You know, that there were some things where they had some obvious size advantages. So we need our biggest guys, regardless of how big they are, to play big.
What's the status of the cramping issue with Darren and the health of the team overall?
I don't think it's bad. I you know, everybody's practiced the last 2 days, and so I haven't been overly concerned with that. You know, Darren's situation, I thought he got through the game pretty well for the most part. You know, there at the very end, you know, I took him out just for precautionary reasons, but I don't see a major issue moving forward.
I think even before the season started, Darren said he wanted to get better at playing off the ball. I'm wondering how much of an asset can it be for you guys if you're able to use him in that capacity as well?
Well, we have to,
Yeah.
because you guys saw how Trimble guarded, and you know, we're not going to go against a better athlete. You know, from a strength standpoint, a speed standpoint, we may go up against some comparable ones, but you know, he's a very impressive athlete and did a great job on Darren. Even with that being said, you know, the dude gets 22 on 14 shots. We have to do a better job of screening for him. And that's something that we certainly have emphasized and tried to emphasize, because we have been a team of not recognizing probably what we need to do to free him. Because if he's freed, he'll make plays for others too, and we gotta trust that. And I didn't think we did a good job of that the other night at all, because they didn't switch. They just put him on him and said, you know, no help, just guard him. So he can do better, but we can also do a better job of screening for him and throwing him the ball when he is open. And he can do a better job of getting others open too, because you know they're not going to help.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
More
Thank you.
basketball.